our day-to-day life, we are somehow always engaged with something. We're engaged with energy, and energies are very tiring and very energy consuming. It pulls your attention to this constant engagement, and it doesn't allow you to truly rest, to come to that true full stop, like a total full stop. It's where we reset. It's where we allow all energies to unwind from the holding within our consciousness. Because when we are in it, there's only so much we can do. We have to step out of the energy to be able to truly rest, unwind, and then to surrender in the void. To surrender your personal and impersonal, to surrender your stories, your narratives, the attachments, the identities that you see yourself, that you are right now, and where you are in your life and how you relate to the life that you're experiencing. There is a certain sense of I, certain sense of myself. You relate to life according to you. That is the attachment we're discussing, the engagement, the holding. So you see, one part of us wants to be free and liberated, but at the same time, we're the ones holding all of what we think we are within ourselves. So in the void, we learn to surrender all the personal and impersonal, all the attachments, and also what you are detached from too. It's all of it. Well, ultimately, all attachments and detachments, all personal and impersonal, they are all in the one absolute consciousness anyways. So you see the paradox of why would even struggle with negative and positive, with push and pull, with this and that, with holdings and releasing. You see the duality of it all. And who's the one keeping the perception of duality? Well, something in your consciousness is keeping it. And what is that? Identity, attachment. So in the void, we learn to stop everything. We stop the search, we stop the want, we stop all desires, we stop everything. We stop processes. We come to an absolute full stop. And then through that humbleness, through that surrender and devotion to a greater light, to a greater higher consciousness, yes, to that which is eternal love, eternal light, then we are uplifted, so to speak, by the grace of the masters, the teachers on your path, on the higher planes, that they are there simply waiting for you to truly give up yourself, to give up your struggles, to give up your conflicts, to give up this and that. And then this question arises, like, who would you be in this moment without my personal life or worldview. Who would you be in this moment if your history was erased? All of it. Like, who would you be now? If you had no name, if you had no history, if you had no particular identity or preference of this or that. And that's an inquiry to bring you to a place of the great void, to a place of nothingness. Nothingness. And it is from that pure nothingness when we are then uplifted into the divine eternity, into the divine light, love, truth of God, the planes of divine. So what is in our way is ourself, the self that thinks, that knows. So that too can be surrendered. The one that knows. The one that knows has a certain reference, isn't it? There's a reference because of a certain memory, a certain past life experience that becomes the knower. The knower is also can be in the way of divinity. Because to open to divine, you have to surrender all of yourself, the personal and impersonal. Which means that all meaning disappear. There's no meaning. No meaning remains. Up to here we give meaning to everything. There is a meaning to this and a meaning to that. But have you ever inquired what meaning is? There is an idea placed upon something, a flavor, a color, a texture. And we give something a meaning. But through this great surrender in the void, all meaning disappear. There's no meaning. Because meaning is an additional ingredient. So this is why it is said that to open into divinity, which is, by the way, in the core of your being, to return to that essence, the eternal essence in you, well, we must at first give up or give away all that is kept, all that it's kept and binded, attached within. And even greater than that, even all that which you are detached from. So all of it. Because this body here, this body is an anchor in itself. It is anchored here on the planet Earth, and through the anchor of this manifested physical body, we are anchoring and streaming our higher vehicles of consciousness to certain degrees. But we're also anchoring the emotional body, the mental body, the astral, the etheric. It's anchored too because of this physical body. And wherever we walk, we carry all of it with us. No matter where you travel, no matter what you do, no matter how you try to change your environment, you carry all of it with you. So the way to free yourself from the various levels of illusion, speaking from the point of the absolute, we carry a lot of stuff that is unnecessary. We carry a lot of suffering. Yes, and how many times do we prolong suffering when it is unnecessary? And if it was easier said than done, we can simply accept it, allow it, resolve it, clear it, and be free. But it's not as easy as these words can speak of it. In reality, there is a certain degree within us of surrender that is needed. Giving up what we're trying to hide, or what we're trying to run away from, what we don't like. Because many times we are running, trying to grab things we love, and running away from things we don't like. But what is within, attached, well, that is carried. So that is why we meditate, inquire, we do the practice, we do the practice so that layer by layer we resolve, like peeling the onion, so to speak. We resolve layer by layer, we melt away layer by layer the sense of I, which in itself is a sense of separation. And once that I dissolves, then all that remains is divine or absolute God. And what that means, is that when the I resolves, dissolves, then there is nothing in the way. There is no distance, there is no separation, there's nothing in the way. But that doesn't mean that life stops. Life doesn't stop. Life continues, experience continues. But when there is no I, then life happens and moves through you. Like you become life itself. You become open as life itself, and life moves through you. And whatever is, is. However it happens, it happens. There's no resistance. Some days can be like this, and some days can be like that. But it's okay. There's a deeper okayness. There's no struggle. There's no conflict. There's no inner fight or escapism. Life happens as it happens. You're aware, open. Of course, there can be qualities. You may have more compassion to whatever is happening, or more clarity in seeing through anything that is happening. there is openness. There is acceptance of all, no matter how it is happening. And that is the difference. That is the liberation. That is the freedom. Having this true, deep okayness with all life happening as it happens. But then, whatever touches you, whatever pulls your attention or spirals you down into something, well, that's a very clear indication, isn't it? That that particular thing is what you need to work with next. Resolve it, unwind it, heal it, liberate it. And gone. That's it. It disappears. You can live without a narrative or my story and my pain or my suffering. When you come to full consciousness, you realize that. There is unnecessary suffering and it's not needed. Just take care of the present now, whatever it is, and that's it. But if you get stuck with something, if it's absorbing you, pulling you back into a certain particular thing, well, that is an indication you need to work on it, that energy. Just to work with that energy. And it's through your presence, it's through your higher capacity, it's through the clear light of seeing, and then with the support of the transmissions, these energies unwind and resolve. So today is dedicated to that sufferer that has prolonged it way too much. It's time to surrender that narrative. It's time to see beyond it or see through it. Yeah, it's time to surrender this personal and impersonal. And to realize that all this opposition and dualities of energies, they're all happening in you already. So what are we fighting with? They're all happening within the one source consciousness already. So all that is required is having a bigger capacity to be more present, so that these energies are not taking over you or drowning you in one way or another.